nighttime, we'd come back maybe 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. We'd all be drunk. We'd all know each other's names. We'd play games. In the morning, we'd wake up. We'd laugh about it. But we became a family in a very short amount of time. Rather be by yourself, get stuff done, and be able to walk around with your underpants. Should you stay in a hotel or a hostel? Now, understand, this is actually one of the questions that I get asked the most, and I've been traveling around the world for the last 2 years straight. I'm actually in year 3 right now, so actually I'm best equipped to answer this question. I've stayed in both hostels and hotels. I have so many stories. Now, traveling is awesome. Solo traveling is one of those things that I recommend that every person do, especially when they're younger. Reason why. Solo traveling when you're younger is actually one of the easiest things to do compared to when you're older. I'm one of those people that I'll take my phone charger, get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, just at the crack of dawn, and start walking for maybe 8-9 hours. Imagine me being 50 years old doing that. That's not that easy. So traveling by myself while being young, believe me, it's literally a gift, and I don't take it for granted. But that doesn't mean that everything that glitters is gold. Now, I've stayed in some pretty bad places. I usually stay in Airbnbs, but Airbnbs can give you access to entire apartments, hotels, or entire houses, and they can also give you access to hostels. So I'm going to talk about both. I will also say, before I even get there, is that this might actually be a personal preference thing. I mean, think about this. Some of you might actually have a personal preference because you don't like sharing your bathroom or your kitchen or your living room, or maybe you just like to walk around your house naked. In that case, definitely don't choose a hostel. But I'm going to tell you that that doesn't necessarily mean that you shouldn't try it at least once. Okay, so let's get to both sides. I'll talk about hostels first. Hostels are really great for meeting people. Usually, when I get to a country for the first time, I actually like to stay in hostels. Because I will tell you, this is actually an interesting story. When I was the first time I ever solo traveled, I stayed in New Orleans. And I stayed in a hostel that was maybe a minute from Bourbon Street. And let me tell you, I think it was 2 streets down from Bourbon Street. I stayed in a hostel, and that was the best hostel experience I've ever had. I haven't actually had anything replicate that since. And here's what happened. At 9 o'clock, they'd give everybody beers. Then at 10 o'clock, we'd leave as a group. And then we'd go to Bourbon Street and we'd party as a group. And everybody would make it back home by the nighttime. We'd come back maybe 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. We'd all be drunk. We'd all know each other's names. We'd play games. In the morning, we'd wake up. We'd laugh about it. But we became a family in a very short amount of time. That's one of the best things about a hostel, is that you travel solo, but when you get there, you're not alone. That's a really beautiful thing. And if you've never traveled solo before, believe me, you are going to enjoy it more if you actually go stay in hostels, because you'll meet people so much easily. Now, I also think I'm a man traveling, right? So then sharing bathrooms is not really a problem for me. But I will tell you, I've actually heard from women that they prefer to stay in hostels because of safety. Staying in an entire apartment, you don't know who's following you at nighttime. But if you're in a hostel always has someone there, so it's more safe. I totally get that. So then as a woman, if you're considering solo traveling, you might actually just want to link up with people instead of going to a hotel in the first place. Another benefit that I like about hostels is that you learn the culture. Why? Because a hostel always has staff. They have to, because they're shared spaces. Think about this. You have 15 people sharing 4 bathrooms, or you have 10 people sharing 2 bathrooms. Someone has to clean that bathroom. And that person is probably someone who lives in the area, which means that they know the best restaurants, they know the dangerous streets, they know the good streets, they know the best tours, they know the corner shop where no one goes, they know where the tourists go to party versus the locals go to party. They know so much. And they probably have friends and connections that you can tap into too. Obviously, you can make friends with those people as well. The reason why I'm saying this is because I've experienced it. Staying in a hostel is actually one of those things that really has changed the game for me. And every time I go to a new country for the first time, I at least stay in a hostel for the first 1 to 2 weeks. If I'm staying there for 3-4 months, I'm at least staying in a hostel once. Why? Because it's just such an easy way to meet people. And so then, that's my case for hostels. But let's take it over to actually hotels or apartments or houses where you stay completely by yourself. Now, right now, I'm in a hotel. Well, I'm in a house. right? So you can see I have this entire place to myself. It's a 2-bedroom. I have a nice kitchen. I have a patio. The entire place is to myself. Now, would I be able to shoot something so crisp, so clean if I were staying in a hostel? Probably not. So then there are times when you actually want some more privacy. Because shooting this, sitting down in front of a camera uninterrupted in silence, you probably won't get that in a hostel. If you want to be peace and quiet, if you want to wake up, without any disturbance, I have my TV right here. I can cook, I can walk around in my underpants. I don't really have a lot of distractions. So then if I'm ever getting into a mode where I'm creating more content for you guys, or I'm helping out some clients, or I'm doing some type of thing that leads to growth, professionally in my career, because obviously I'm not yet 30, I want to keep going and do more things, then I'm probably going to want to move away from a hostel and get an apartment, a house, or a hotel room. So this place is actually very useful for being the most productive. I'm also a man. I will tell you, after you have a couple of friends in Grenada, then you're probably going to want to invite them to your place. You're probably going to want to host a dinner party or wine or cheese, kind of thing. And if you're a man, being able to host people actually opens the door for you to have more friends. So then after you get more comfortable and you have a group with your hostel, find your own place so that you can invite people over. Also, as a man, you want to be able to invite your dates over. Not necessarily saying that you can do whatever you want to do. But having your own place to invite people over, you can, let's come watch a movie. Let me cook for you, right? Let's just drink on the patio and watch the stars or watch the sunset. Having your own place, you're able to do things like this. As a man, I can tell you, works great. Now, for the ladies, you might have other reasons. I know that privacy is a big one. Having a space for you and your girlfriends might be a big one, or even inviting men over to your place, that might be a reason too. I don't know, right? But what I will tell you is that the professional thing, that applies to everybody. So many people, when they get their own place, they're so much more productive. They get to lock in, they have zero distractions. All you got to do is stay home, you wake up, have coffee, and get to work. Super great. Now, so far, I'll ask you a question. I want you to put this down in the comments. Which one would you actually prefer? Because I'm not done, but which one would you actually prefer? A hostel or a hotel? House or apartment? Would you rather share with people, get to know people, or would you rather be by yourself, get stuff done, and be able to walk around with your underpants? You can see the way I phrase that, there's no right or wrong answer, which is totally fine. You don't actually need to choose all the time. I stay in both depending on how I'm feeling. If I want to stay in a hostel, then I'm going to stay in a hostel, and there's no judgment on that. But if you want more privacy, then go do that. If you're tired of people, then stay by yourself. And if you're tired of being by yourself, go back to a hostel. There's really no difference. Well, there's no preference between the two. It really just depends on your mood. If you've never stayed in a hostel, I'm going to recommend staying in a hostel. And if you've never stayed by yourself, I'm going to recommend staying by yourself just to try both. I'm telling you, as someone who travels, you get the best of both worlds when you need them. And if you are traveling and you have the ability to actually change between the two, yeah, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? Especially when you need it. Okay, I know I've talked a lot, but I want to hear from you. In the next video, I'm actually going to be making right after this one, I'm going to talk about something I haven't talked about a lot. And I'm not sure if I want to say it on screen yet. It's fine. I'm going to talk about the bad sides of solo traveling, which we'll see how it goes. But maybe staying in a hostel is one of them. No, I'm just kidding. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Peace out.